Shut up and sit down.
Welcome, everyone, to the 3POA podcast, episode 24. Had to fix that error earlier this week. I am your host, Laserpants. I am joined, as always, by my good buddy and the man from down under, Mr. Tony Roberts. Welcome, Tony.
Thanks, man. Yes, I'm Tony from Analog Toys, and my pronouns are rat/geezer.
Oh, nice. I forgot to put mine in my description. Darn it.
Oh, what yours are cult leader / messiah.
Yeah. I am the cult leader. Wow. Timothy Ward taking care of the sex bots real fast.
Yeah,
thank you.
Straight up.
That's
what happens when you hit 2,000 subscribers, man. The sex bots go, they want to get all up in your junk.
Yep. And with that, thank you, everyone, for all 2,000 plus now of all our subscribers, our listeners. Thank you so much. Totally blown away by that, man. Very cool. Thank you.
It's been quite an incredible couple of weeks for us and all of our fellow channels. So the last show, 10,000 views, the most viewed episode so far. See, Retro Blasting, 100,000 subscribers, first video to 1 million views. I felt like just yesterday I was celebrating 40,000 subs, and I'm now at 42.5.
Nice, man. Yeah.
It's going well. It's going well. And then I got demonetized for about 24 hours, which is weird, but it's all fixed now.
I saw a ton of YouTubers upload videos. My channel's been demonetized, but apparently it was some glitch in the matrix.
Yep.
YouTube has fixed it, and everyone should be back to whole, hopefully, by now.
Yep.
But yeah, shout out to Retro Blasting on reaching 100,000 subs. I think he's at 105 now. Just within like 107.
I think so. Yeah.
That's some seriously crazy growth. And our last video,
and his Lego video is approaching 1.2 million views. So well done, Michael. Well done.
Congrats to you, Michael. So you mentioned our last show, 10,000 views. Blown away. But thanks to everyone, other content creators on YouTube for amplifying that, sharing that. Nerd Zoic, of course, Articulated Ninja, among others.
And just to put that into perspective really quick as well, Ryan, like I know we're talking about, Retro Blasting's got a video with 1 million views. My Toy Histories of Mask, I'm really pleased, is getting up around 67,000. I'm Done with Marvel Legends is 77,000. They're shorter form pre-produced videos. They always get a lot more views. When it comes to actual live streams, 10,000 views on a live stream is an incredible achievement. I think in the entire lifetime of my channel, I think I've only got one live stream that went over 10,000 views. And that was when I had Chris Smith of Stan Solo on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've got another live stream on my channel that's got that many views.
Yeah, and to put that in perspective, our next biggest show just on this channel is only like 3,000 and change. Well, actually, the episode where we talked about the Bratz car, that's over 5,000 now. That one blew up a bit too. But before the last two shows, if we got 3,000 views, that was great. When we were on Analog Toys, 4,000 views. I think most of those shows ended up at 4,000, but just this small channel. So that's huge, man. So thanks to everyone, all our listeners, for sharing the link. I saw a lot of people sharing the link, and not only did it get 10,000 views, but surprisingly, for negative, toxic man babies like us, we got a lot of positive feedback on it. Like the comments were overwhelmingly in favor of the show, which is crazy that it wasn't full of Hasbros yelling at us. But so thanks again, everyone. Obviously, Bobby's not here yet. He's running a little late. His head got too big, couldn't get in the door. So he's got to maneuver. He's got to grease it up, maneuver in there, and he'll be on in a minute. We got a bunch of super chats already. A few sent before we even went live, which is becoming like a tradition now. Like you send me screen grabs throughout the day of people sending super chats before we even go live, which thank you so much, guys. Much appreciated.
I do think it's worth mentioning to the audience, though, guys, if you do send a super chat, even anywhere from kind of 30 minutes to more than that before the start of the show, if we log in, at 10 minutes to 8, it's likely going to have disappeared from the live chat. So if that ever happens and we don't read it out, that's the reason why. So I always go in about an hour or two before and check, just to make sure. But you never know.
And if you do send a super chat early, that's fine. If you screen capped it and sent it to the 3POA Instagram account, just DM it to us. Then I will know and I won't miss it. But thanks to Tony and Timothy Ward for finding these before I did. So first up from the Canuck. Thank you so much, the Canuck. He says, won't be here to watch this live stream. Having a gaming section playing D&D. We'll catch this tomorrow after work. Have a great time, guys. And as always, have fun and be safe. Peace out from Arkansas. A Canuck living in Arkansas. All right.
So why do you pronounce that? So take the AR off the front. Why do you pronounce that Kansas?
Yeah, instead of Kansas.
And not Kansas.
I have no clue, man.
They're spelled exactly the same way of American English, man.
You're more responsible for the English language than I am.
Yeah, but this is not the English language. This is American English.
Okay, fine. Thank you, the Canuck, so much. And we got one from Tony Robles. Thanks, man. He says, got a short lunch today, so I'll have to catch the replay. Darn. The only half-decent reveal at PulseCon was Indiana Jones, in my opinion. And we're going to talk about that tonight. Off-topic question for Bobby. Will we see a Ukrainian member of Action Force? He's not here yet, but I'll keep this starred and be sure to run that by him when he gets here. Thanks, Tony. Man, very generous. M. Vargo, our buddy M. Vargo, 97, who just sent you pretty cool package in the mail. Or parcel, sorry.
Beyond cool. It's sitting down there. There was one piece of glass, the killer whale, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about. There was one piece of glass from one of the front hatches missing. I've already bought it. It's in the post. Going to finish that off. It will be appearing in a video, but I've got a lot on the production schedule at the moment. It might not be for a couple of months.
Cool. Well, thank you, M. Vargo 97. Looking forward to this one. Just got my 2.0 3POA logo and loose but complete shirts today. Awesome, man. Thanks. I think that makes it like 6 shirts that I've sold, maybe. But that's cool, man. Thank you, M. Vargo. Link for that is in the description below if you guys want any t-shirts or mugs or whatever. Up to you. And then Retro Blasting, he says 10,000 on a live stream is a massive hurdle, and well done, Ryan. Thanks, Michael. Yeah. Much appreciated. And also, all credit to Bobby as well, because he's the one that can break this stuff down. He has the insider knowledge, and that's definitely why people were tuning in for that one. Because that was a clinic. So thank you, Bobby. Hopefully he's here soon. And then one from My buddy Salvator. Thanks, man.
Hey,
He says,
Sal.
don't. He says, don't get a bigger head, Ryan. I'm already a size like 7 5/8 hat, so hopefully not. And he says 9,768 of those views are mine. Thanks, Sal. Appreciate it, man. And then Jeremy J.
Hey, Jeremy. How are you, man?
He says,
hey,
Tony.
Tony, and only Tony. Yeah. It was Loose but Complete the other day was really good. Like having two awesome guys on there and you, Ryan.
Okay. Thanks.
Have you got a button for crickets on that thing?
Emotional damage.
Oh, you want the crickets? I got that too. All right. Jeremy, I hate you. You're fired. Oh, congrats to Jeremy on his little one.
Oh, yeah.
He just had a little 1/8 scale replica of himself brought into the world.
Yep.
And I got that joke from Salvator. So, but yeah, he had his little baby, Jeff. Welcomed him into the world. So congrats to him, Jeremy, and his wife, and little Jeff. When you watch this in the future, I'm very sorry about your dad. So, all right.
And what does that mean for the future of Loose but Complete?
It'll probably be a little looser because I don't know. I imagine Jeremy will not be able to make the show as often.
Yeah.
So it might be more infrequent, which is fine with me because I don't like Jeremy at all. Marvelous Nerd. Thank you so much. He says, hi, Ryan, and not Tony. Joking. Hopefully y'all doing well. I'm doing very well. Thank you very much, Marvelous Nerd. These are rolling in. Keith Knight, all the way from the UK. He says, hello, chaps. Congrats on the 2,000, Ryan. Great job. Thank you. Rat Geezer sounds like a Cockney superhero.
Rat Geezer is a Cockney superhero.
All right. Well, we are going to be talking about some Hasbro Pulse stuff. By the way, earlier in the week, I posted up a thumbnail on my Instagram page. It was a joke, guys. I lost 4 followers after I posted that. It said Hasbro is literally the devil, and below in little parentheses, and they want to kill you. If you took that seriously, I don't know what to tell you. But no, I wasn't going to use that for YouTube. I think YouTube would smack me for putting kill in the title, and devil and kill might have got me double smacked by YouTube. So that was just a joke, guys. But it's true. 100% true. All right. Well, I say we start with Marvel Legends because I want Bobby to be here when we get into Indiana Jones and definitely G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
So there were some reveals, and although I am getting kind of tired of talking about the Engine of Vengeance, it bears revisiting it here for just a minute because they unveiled a new tier to get to the unlock goal of a minimum 9,000 backers, which has dropped nearly 1,000 backers since they didn't make the early bird unlock. And that is Madeline Pryor, who is a very attractive looking woman based on her action figure. The Goblin Queen. And instead of being beyond Mephisto, which I would think Mephisto's unlock is at 12,000 backers, they moved Madeline Pryor ahead. Go ahead.
I imagine this was, in their original plan was probably like a 15,000, 16,000 backer unlock, and now they've dropped it back to 10. Is it?
Yes, back to 10. Yes. Which was, I think, kind of their Hail Mary. Like, you only got to get to 10 for this one, so because if they put her at 15 or 13 or 14, everyone's going to be like, well, so what? That's never going to happen. 10,000 is much more likely. And so they have the room in the budget. I mean, they have the room in the budget to add 5 figures to this campaign at the 5,000 backer level,
Yep.
But Madeline Pryor, some controversy about her breasts not being exposed enough.
Well, I was going to say, isn't it ironic that this reveal is not very revealing?
Yeah. The comic version is much more revealing, and I want to get to that. So there's Mephisto prototype physical form. I think this was taken at New York Comic Con. I believe I stole this from the Toy Arc. Looks better than a digital render. I think this looks okay. To me, a bit too thin. And the slippers that he has on, the Crocs that he's wearing, I'm not a fan of. But there is the Dark Lord Mephisto. There's his crotch. And there is the prototype of Madeline Pryor. Now, like I said, a lot of people are disappointed with her not being revealing enough, which I understand, because if you read the early 90s comics, X-Men comics, which she was a part of, that's what she was wearing. Lots of underboob.
Look, most Marvel Legends collectors are, men in their late 30s, early 40s, and we want our tits. What more can you say? I'm
not saying they're wrong. And look who was here. He heard underboob, and he decided to show up. So we got my good buddy and the man behind Action Force, the CEO of Valaverse, Bobby Vala.
Just in time for tips, huh?
Yeah.
Your song. And that's about all I can play.
Awesome. Right. So glad I made it for the boobs.
Yeah, not enough underboob. And I don't think they're wrong. I think if, it's part of a HasLab campaign, there's no reason to protect the children. It's obviously adults spending this kind of money on this type of product. I think they should have included the underboob, but I'm thinking it's probably something from Disney or Marvel themselves, cover.
I'm actually surprised at how much boob they showed on her, because I think I told the story about the She-Hulk figure that I did in the 4-inch line. We got in a lot of trouble for it, and ever since then, and even when Dwight did the giant boobs on Black Hat, it was like Disney toned down the hell out of that. So I was surprised that they even got away with as much as they did.
Yeah.
That's right. It's not going to, they're not going to make it anyway. So.
I don't think this is not going to get to 10,000. I don't think it's going to get to 9,000, even with that big bump they always get at the end in the last 2 days.
Supposedly, I'm sure you guys talked about this, but they tease that they're going to be showing another reveal, like another thing. And watch, man, you're going to see it's going to be like a rigged game. They're going to come out of the woodworks and they're basically just going to be like, ooh, we got to keep giving more and more and more. It's going to be like when the Rancor at the end, it was like, oh, we're really not going to fund. Hey, here's the Rancor Keeper, just a picture of him, but you get him, don't worry. So it's like, wait a minute, how much is Marvel really going to throw at everyone trying to get this thing to fund? But I think that it's too little too late. I think, look how many they lost. Like, they've never had a day where they've been in the positive. Ever since the Friday that Robbie didn't fund, it dropped. And it dropped more than they got new backers. So it's like, listen, man, what do you got, 5,200? It's bad, man. It's bad news. You're not getting those people back. Especially the bigger influencers who dropped out. I think, had a big impact. Our show definitely had a huge impact. Michael French's stuff, Articulated Ninja stuff, and it's like, listen, guys, we're not trying to purposefully make this thing not fun. That's not what it's about. It's making sure what fun
Hold on, Bobby.
And that's what I think everyone's problem is.
Can you repeat that last sentence? You broke up a little bit and we missed it.
All right. We're not trying to get this thing to not fund. It's not about us hating Hasbro and making it not fun. What it's about is making sure Hasbro knows what the right item is and what the right value is. Yeah. So that's what this is all about. Yeah,
you said it on the big show 2 weeks ago. Like, if you want it, buy it. Not trying to get you not to buy it, just trying to make you a more informed consumer.
Yep.
So no hate towards the Marvel Legends team.
Again, I've said it. The car looks awesome. The figure looks awesome. The flame, it's amazing looking item. It's just not a $350 item.
Yeah. All right,
Bobby, are you in the Millennium Falcon's engine room or something?
No, I'm in Jersey. It was my nephew's birthday today, and we drove down to Jersey, and I'm staying at my parents' house. But because we got the kids with us, and it's like they're all in separate rooms, and any of the spare bedrooms that I would have streamed from are taken up. So I came down into the basement so I could be left alone to meander what you fellas.
Jersey, huh?
Jersey.
Say hi to your mother for me, okay? That's the best I can do. That's the best mark I can do. Too bad Michael's not here.
Worst part of being from Jersey.
Yeah. All right. So we beat the HasLab to death. What is this? I don't know how that got in there. That's my cat. She's huge. Okay, moving on.
So what did I miss? What did you guys talk about? Let me ruin the show by going back.
Oh no, we actually started with the HasLab thing, the
Okay.
Madeline Pryor.
No, well, we spent 10 minutes patting each other on the back for getting 10,000 views and 2,000 subs, and
Oh yeah!
Michael getting
Hey, congratulations to
million.
us.
And congratulations to Michael for hitting 100,000.
Congratulations. Listen, congratulations to Michael. Congratulations to Tony. I think he hit like 40,000 or some shit like that. Not that he deserved it, but
Yeah, well,
there-
Bobby, what are your pronouns?
Fuck and shit. Did we open the show by announcing our pronouns? Because I feel like that's the thing that everyone's doing now, right? You mean like everyone? And when I say everyone, I mean only the GI Joe team.
Well, we will get to the GI Joe team. But there was a super chat from Tony Robles, and he wanted to know if you had any plans for a Ukrainian Action Force character.
It's not on my radar at the moment. I mean, I never want to get like political with the Action Force line or any toy line I do. So, I mean, if the character fits, then sure, but I don't know if it's necessary just to do a Ukrainian character just because of the the times that unfortunately they're going through. So yeah, if it fits for a character, sure, down the line.
All right, let's take care of a few super chats, and then we'll talk about the rest of these Marvel Legends. Earl Potts. Earl Potts, thank you, admin of the MLC group on Facebook. He says, Wolverine, it's cool to pee your pants. A lot of Adam Sandler this past week. Yeah. So that cartoon, that cel-shaded cartoon Wolverine, the inside of his leg is a darker yellow than the rest of the suit, and it looks like he peed his pants. And that was like a joke in the 3POA group this week. So it's been Adam Sandler heavy with you're not cool unless you pee your pants. From which one was that? I don't know.
Tommy
Billy
Boy.
Madison. No, Billy Madison.
That's right, Billy Madison.
Thank you, Earl. Also, Earl's selfie series figure looks just like Adam Sandler. No, and Earl looks nothing like Adam Sandler.
So not like the person who bought it.
Nothing like Earl. All right. Goodbye, Earl.
Hey, can we say quick congratulations to Jeremy? I think he had a kid or something.
Listen, we already went through that. It's not a big deal.
Oh, we did. Stop procreating, Jeremy. Stop.
Yeah. Matt Talon, thank you so much for the super chat. A failing HasLab unlocking a predominantly X-Men character seems like grasping at straws to me. Agreed. Hi, guys. Have a great show. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, it does. I mean, of course, they want to keep this like demonic characters, right? Because they say they can't put them at retail. So that's why they're squeezing Madeline Pryor in there. And she has no affiliation with Robbie Ray as Ghost Rider, as far as I know. She was like an old school X-Men villain, clone of Jean Grey. So...
Hey, Matt Talon, big Action Force fan. Thank you, bud.
There he is. Thank you, Matt. Lyle Convoy has a question for you. When the Unicron didn't look like it was going to fund, Hasbro extended it and let Big Bad set up pre-orders for it. Something that hasn't been repeated. Any idea why?
Yeah, that was shady. I remember when that happened. I mean, the thing is, we don't know that that's not happening. They could be doing something where Hasbro maybe has a deal with Big Bad, and I'm not saying this is happening. I have no idea if this is happening, but it could be so, because Big Bad, I don't believe, has this on their website. So it could be something where they allow Big Bad to take X amount of product and are not allowed to put it on their site until, say, 30 or 60 or 90 days after the funding ends, kind of thing. So again, I don't know if that's happening, but the fact that Big Bad doesn't have this up on their site, is how I'm kind of coming to that conclusion. Again, it's just an educated guess. I have no idea what goes on behind closed doors or anything like that, but I would find it I would find it hard to believe that Hasbro is not working with some of their retail partners to purchase these. Now, also, we don't know if Big Bad hasn't bought any. Maybe Big Bad bought 100 of them to put on their site for after. Maybe they just they bought it at retail, and they're hoping maybe on the secondary market it gets bigger. But I don't know. It's just educated guesses, but it's definitely something that could be going on.
Yeah. I wouldn't count on like Big Bad Toy Store to fund this thing by buying 4,000 units at this point. I think that's a little out of their reach, even for Big Bad. All right. Drew G, thank you so much for the super chat. Can't stay at a wedding, but wanted to show support. We appreciate you very much. He just put up the third video in his collection tour series on his YouTube page. Guy has an amazing collection and displayed amazing. It's huge. Vintage, modern, everything. So check that out after this show. Thanks, Drew. And then Ramen Toys is in the chat. Hey, Ramen Toy. Agree with Bobby. Don't get political. Always a good rule right there.
What's up, Ace?
Thank you, Ramen.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you just, we're buying toys. It's what it should be about. It shouldn't be about anything else.
Yep. And a World Made of Cardboard, thank you so much. He says, does Hasbro let bots back to HasLab? Bots in quotes.
Good question. I don't know. I mean, maybe. It's hard to tell because it's like, we know a lot of bots are buying those pre-orders, I know NECA was trying to combat that, over the last couple of years because, their Ninja Turtle stuff was getting sold out within seconds and people weren't even getting it. And then if they found out they were bots, they were then putting that stock back up on, taking it away from the bots. But I don't know. I don't work there anymore, unfortunately, and some of my spies don't know that kind of stuff.
All right, and then Ramen Toy says, I recall Hasbro made a mention that the Engine of Vengeance is also being solicited to wholesale accounts, so we'll see. So probably BBTS, Dorkside,
listen, man,
Entertainment Earth.
When you are in this position where you need this thing to fund, they are literally you will see Hasbro do everything possible up until the end to get this thing to fund. I'm telling you right now. You will see shady stuff. You will see just crazy stuff that they will just pull out. I mean, look, and Ryan Ting's a good friend, so I have this relationship where I can kind of mess with him a bit. But the second they announced what's her name? The Goblin Queen?
Madeline Pryor.
Yeah, Madeline Pryor. I texted him and I said, so what was she really going to unlock at? Just digging at him because I know that she wasn't going to unlock at 10,000. She was going to unlock way after that. And because they already came out and said Mephisto was 11, they can't backtrack on that. So we can't say 12 or 13. She was probably going to be 14 or 16. So they're I guess we got to move it in between the funding and Mephisto, which is 10,000. So they're just trying to do everything. Look, man, they gave you the Robbie head. No one gave a shit. They gave you Mephisto. Nobody gave a shit. They gave you her. Nobody gave a shit. So I'm just wondering at this point, what are they going to give you that will make people, all those, 400 people that have backed out, what are they going to do to get them back on? And then what are you going to do to get the remaining 3,000? And people know, they're like, dude, listen, even if we get back on, it's like, we're not going to get to Mephisto. And it's like, they don't really want her. They want Mephisto. He's at 11. She's at 10. If they can't get to 9, it's like the writing's on the wall. At this point, honestly, what they should do is they should just say, we heard you. We are going to stop this Kickstarter, whatever fund it is. That's what they should say. Now, granted, it could be a PR gamble nightmare. But, it's like, listen, when you realize something's not working, you got to regroup. Stop, It's like when I was doing my first one, I thought about that. I thought about like, oh man, this thing isn't going to fun. I should, stop it now. But, I just for like research purposes, I wanted to see how many we would get to at the end. And that allowed me to then course correct and change some things up. And then it funded the second time around. But for them, it's like, listen, you should just come out and say, listen, it could benefit you by saying, listen, we've listened to the fans. We heard you and we're listening. We are going to regroup this because we have heard you and we now know that this is not, 1, the right item, or 2, the right price. Let's regroup. Let's figure something out and we will come back to you with a better item or something better to pay it back to you. I feel like what that would do for the fans, like it would give them so much more credit and so many more brownie points rather than just seeing it through to the end and saying, okay, didn't fun. Like, listen, man, that's what the Rancor. You've got to have people there that are like looking at all of these stats saying, okay, well, the Rancor was the only one that ever went backwards in backers. And what happened with that? It didn't fund. So this one has gone backwards and has never gone up since that Friday. So that's 2 weeks now. So it's like the trend says that this isn't going to fund no matter what we throw at it. And look, we've thrown 3 things at it and nothing has gone up in the positive in any day. It's all gone down. That should tell you to just cut bait and run.
Yeah.
The next tier shouldn't be another figure. The next tier should be $100 discount.
Listen, man, at this point, the only thing that's going to get this thing to fund, if you say, here's a 1990 Danny Ketch motorcycle and Ghost Rider, because it's like that's everyone's Ghost Rider. Well, him and Johnny Blaze, but we got a Johnny Blaze motorcycle. We didn't get a Danny Ketch motorcycle. And again, that falls into that thing where, remember when I said like you can only do certain characters in certain years that Marvel allows you to do? I want to say that Danny Ketch has been off the list, just like some of the other characters have been. But it's like, that's what you need to get. You need to get Danny Ketch because he is what you need. But at this point, I don't know, man. I think the waters are tainted. I really think it'd be better to just cut bait and run.
Yeah, Danny Ketch is the one they haven't done. If that was suddenly the 10,000 tier, Danny Ketch with his bike, I think it would really start moving upwards. Yeah. But they've already come out and said no vehicles except for the Engine of Vengeance in this campaign. So anyway.
I will say this. If you end up seeing something, if they end up releasing something that are just gray model images or, gray render and not like the colorized render, they put that shit together in the last minute because just like with the Rancor, we didn't see any of that stuff. We saw
a low res image of the actor. From 1983, man. It was like,
it was bad. Yeah. It was bad. So it's like, that's when because they're like, oh, we don't have a lot of time to do this. We don't have time to make a model or stats, but we can get 3D sculpt images of it. And that's when that they put that shit together real quick. So
now
man, to be a fly on the wall in those meetings, man.
I don't want to spend a lot more time on this, but I just want to say, going forward with these HasLab projects, forget the early bird, right? Don't worry about that, because if it's not looking good, they're going to start adding more stuff to the campaign. Just like the Rancor, they added the Rancor Keeper, and now with this, they added in the head for Robbie Reyes, and they're putting Madeline Pryor at 10,000. Hold off. We know Hasbro now will add more.
Yep.
because there's more room in the budget. Plenty of room. Okay.
I do think it's quite funny, you know, they're struggling to get this campaign funded, and yet they bring out the G.I. Joe Serpentor, and people who pay a $50 Pulse membership couldn't get it because it sold out in 3 minutes.
Yeah,
it's
that
all
was
over the place.
It's another thing. Okay.
Yeah, think about if you bought a $50 Pulse membership and then an $80 Serpentor. That's a big
or
ticket.
You
Right.
paid a
Bought the
$50
$50
membership, and then you couldn't get Serpentor. Like, that's just...
Or that, yeah.
I saw those posts. They bought the premium membership, missed out on Serpentor.
That's bad. Like,
That's bad.
you know,
Dude. Very bad.
that's bad.
Serpentor will be coming in the regular line, no doubt, maybe without the chariot or less accessories.
What Hasbro should do is they should figure out how many people pay premium memberships, and say you have something like Serpentor. Say there are 10,000 premium memberships. You allocate those 10,000 for every single premium membership. And as a premium member buys one, it gets ticked off, and it goes down. And then after, say, the 24, 48-hour window for the premium membership, those remaining ones go out. Like, you should allocate and allow and say, we have 10,000 premium members. We should have 10,000 allocated for them so that they know that you should almost be guaranteed that. Like, if you're a premium member, you should be guaranteed getting that figure if you want it in that first, what is it, an hour? Is that what you get, an hour?
You get an hour window, yeah.
An hour window. You should allocate that for those people for an hour.
I know a lot of people who, let's say they do have 10,000 premium memberships. I know a lot of people I've seen on social media joined Pulse Premium right before Serpentor went up for sale just because they wanted to buy Serpentor. So they've just basically given Hasbro $50 and then got to, you can't even buy it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they had a big influx of new Pulse Premium members or whatever, but it's not good. And there were some people who weren't Pulse Premium members who still managed to get it. Is that right?
Yeah, I heard that.
Weird.
Yeah. I mean,
All right.
Think about how many hundreds of dollars they got from people getting new Pulse memberships that didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
All right.
People just giving Hasbro money for free, man.
Action figure Atorium. Shout out to you, man. I've been watching your channel lately, and it's good. I enjoy it. Your video, I think it was today, you went to Ollie's, I think, and we're showing some of like the overstock that was there, and just kind of showing how overproduced some of this stuff is. It was a really good video. But anyway, thank you for the super chat. He says, just bought a shirt. Is there a bell that rings whenever one sells? Asking for a friend. There's not a bell. There is not a bell, but there's an air horn. Thank you, action figure Atorium.
Wait, was he the one showing the picture of all the frogmen? I thought I saw a picture of someone showing like a huge display of just like 100 Marvel Legends frogman figures.
If he I didn't see that video.
Okay.
All right. And then a couple more just came in. It's coming in fast, so my StreamYards is lagging. Robert Diaz, thank you so much. He says, I got in at 5 and got 2 Serpentors. I'm a basic member of Pulse. I'm happy I got 2. I heard that happen too. Like the non-premium members were able to get in at the premium time somehow and buy them.
Robert, I wouldn't go advertising that, man. People might come after you.
They're gonna come for you, man. Well, good on you for getting 2 of them. And then a world made of cardboard. Thank you so much, man. He says, the fact that Hasbro and Mattel are messing this up, do you think we are nearing the end of the collector's market? I think it's shrinking.
It's definitely shrinking.
A world made of cardboard. Let me give you my opinion on this, right? Social media in its current form, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, it's been around for 20 years. The toy community on YouTube, particularly the last 10 years, it's all been about pumping up Hasbro's tires, pumping up Mattel's tires. And it's people sucking up to the corporations for their own benefit, not for the benefit of the community.
Mhm.
I think this is starting to change. I wouldn't say we're nearing the end of the collector's market. I say we're entering a new era when the consumer is finally able to use the voice that we've got on social media to actually get some of the stuff that we want. You know, you're seeing with the way Hasbro's reacting to the HasLab. You know, you didn't get the early bird, but don't worry about it. You'll still get the Robbie head and new reveals coming down, lower tiers. This is what we should have been doing for 10 years, and some of us have been trying to, but it's finally starting to turn.
Yep.
I think we're going to see things. Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
No, it's okay. You don't want to finish your thought?
Oh, I was just going to say, I think Tony's definitely right. We're going to see some changes. I think you're going to see things scale back a lot. Look at the amount of product Legends is putting out. I think you're going to see that, especially with the rising prices. Man, people are angry. And at the same time, it's like there's so many more companies doing collector stuff. Smaller companies like my company coming into the fray. And, now it's at the point where people are like, oh man, I can't buy everything, but I want that. And so they're just going to be picking and choosing where they won't be able to. In the past, maybe they got every Marvel Legends. Ryan, you said you cut down drastically on your Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
I think Hasbro's going to notice that, and you're going to start to see their assortments cut back significantly over the next couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, I live in the Seattle area, and to see Marvel Legends go on clearance, at least in where I live, in this little pocket of Seattle, was rare. I didn't often find stuff on clearance. Now I'm walking in and seeing the entire Bonebreaker wave on clearance. The entire Eternals wave, which obviously that went on clearance everywhere. That's not a good example, but the Bonebreaker wave just sitting there at $12.50 each and still sitting there.
Yep.
So times are changing. Not 2020 anymore.
Yeah. I like here in the Northeast, we don't get anything. Ask anyone. You can't find shit at Target. But it's like they had the Bonebreaker wave and they had some Thor Love and Thunder figures all on clearance. And it was rare to see Marvel Legends on clearance at Target. And they were all on clearance.
Yep. All right. Neil, thank you so much. He says this is quickly becoming a must-watch stream. That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then we have
Neil, do you mean this particular show, or because every show is a must-watch, really?
Yes. We have Marcelo Materi. I hope I said that right. Comic book artist. He's done work for Hasbro, packaging art. Pacific Northwest guy like me, but he's in Canada. I'm down here in Seattle. But he says, "Hey guys, hey Bob, what happened with our Deadpool figure?"
Marcelo, what figure was that? Was it a figure? Refresh me, because I know, Marcelo had done a bunch of packaging stuff for things that I worked on. But I'm trying to remember if there was a Deadpool item that we were doing that got canceled. If there was, refresh me and I'll talk about it.
Yeah, because you did the 12-inch Deadpools, and did you do any of the 6-inch? Were those in your?
I did the one on the scooter, the Vespa.
Okay, maybe that's the one.
I
think David Nakayama did the art on that Vespa.
Yeah, he did.
All right. Okay. We got to move along because there's a lot to cover. I'm going to kind of rush to the Legends because there's not a lot here that's exciting, at least to me. But
in the interest of time, Ryan, don't even bother with Black Series.
Oh no! You know what? I didn't bother with Black Series because it's all repacks or figures. Super
Good. That's
boring.
why I didn't put it in the title.
Yeah. The only one worth mentioning was Wicket. Wicket looks great if you like Return of the Jedi. That's coming out.
No one gives a shit about Wicket.
I do. Hey, that's like the one Star Wars figure I pre-ordered. Okay, you gormless numpty.
Okay, well, you cult leader wannabe.
All right. Where's
my popcorn?
They are continuing on with the cel-shaded VHS box Marvel Legends X-Men with this Cyclops on the Vulcan body, which I think looks great. And as far as cel shading goes, This is the best one I've seen so far. This is the least offensive looking one, because most of them to me, the cell shading is ugly, but this one looks all right. I think it looks great on the Vulcan body, bit taller, better proportions than the older Bucky Cap body. So there he is.
Melinda just said she likes my outfit. Thanks, Melinda.
Freak thinks he's gonna drown.
Yeah.
What's with the light?
Melinda's responding to this comment from Retroblasting that says, I'm glad to see Bobby take a break from his latest breaking and entering job to do the show. Bobby, keep your voice down, though. You don't want the owners knowing you're in the house.
That's awesome.
All right. Okay, so there's the packaging art. VHS box looks fine. They are finally getting Dark Phoenix back out. Highly sought after figure, very expensive on the secondary market. They toned down the colors a little bit to make it like more primary colors. So it's, to me, it looks more animated. But it looks fine.
Was she only in a 2-pack, right?
Yes, with Cyclops. Yep.
The jacketed Cyclops, right?
No, it was the
the X-Force, the blue one with the.
Nope, it was just the blue with the full hood.
Okay.
Head cover. The hair wasn't out, and then it was really nicely shaded.
Trunk?
Huh?
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, the Toys R Us exclusive 2-pack. Yeah, that thing was going for over $200.
Wow,
and
really?
It wasn't for that Bucky Cap Cyclops. It was for Dark Phoenix, and this is also has the updated modern articulation with pinless elbows, double jointed. Although I think the legs are pinned. I don't remember. Can't tell.
So if you were sitting on one or two of those 2-packs, like Toys R Us, wow, that's from a while ago. If you were sitting on those and they were going for $200 in the secondary market, you probably should have sold them a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Those were not hard for me to find when they were out at Toys R Us. Like I walked in a few times and there was like rows of them at my Toys R Us. So I never thought to pick up extra. I wish I would have, because they're going for a lot. But anyway, moving on. Another retro-carded X-Men, much needed update to Spiral from the Mojoverse. 6 arms, pinless, double jointed, and Bobby with torso articulation.
Listen, man, this one really rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, you are the designer of the 6-arm Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, and Doppelganger.
Yeah.
But it's like at the time, we're talking 2018, late 2017, 2018. Legends was hot, man. It's not as hot as it is now, but shit, man, they couldn't even give me the money to do a new torso. They let me do a new torso. They said, yeah, you can't do articulation. Like, you can't break it up. And I was like, man, that's bullshit. Like, I tried to like pinch pennies where I could just to get that. And it was just like, all right, well, that sucks. And I know people were pissed about it, but it's like, dude, like I did what I could. Like I literally was trying to move mountains to be able to put articulation in that torso. And then I see this C-level character, a C-level character come out that's looking like this. And I'm like, man, that's some bullshit. I could have made the best 6-arm Spider-Man, and I was dying to make 6-arm Spider-Man. I think that was one of those ones that I had to like fight Jesse on, as usual. But like, man, 6-arm Spider-Man is so much cooler than Spiral. And it's like, really? You put a lot of money into Spiral. Shit, man.
This is also the 2 you made were packed in with BAF pieces, Build-A-Figure pieces. This one is not.
That's
so there's some of the budget there, but still, it's rarely the fault of the designer for lacking articulation. That's on the pencil pushers, which is what Anthony's Customs just said in the chat. This is why I always blame the problems on pencil pushers. Yeah. Shout out to you, Anthony. Your channel's great. You have a very good eye for proportions and all that stuff. Very fairly reviewing figures. Okay, so next
look, people are mad I called her a C-level character. She's definitely a C-level character.
Yeah, from the Mojoverse. I mean, I think she showed up in the animated series, but that's still, I mean, it's not mainstream. She's never been in an X-Men movie, right? So, all right. We got Wolverine from the Uncanny X-Men 275. The team suits, yellow and blue, looks great. I think those are probably some of the best unmasked Wolverine head sculpts they've done. Moving on to get through this. Avalanche. It's fine. I wish the stoic faces would take a backseat to, Avalanche, you're going to have him in opposing your shelf where he's causing an avalanche, right? Breaking the earth. You want him to be like, at least teeth gritted, something like that. And this was on my top 5 most wanted list from, a month ago we did that show, Tony?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting Avalanche. That's cool. They're watching the show. So shout out to those guys at Hasbro.
It's a lot of accessories that figure comes with.
It's not. No, just 2 hands. We're looking at the same figure. See, all the budget went to Spiral.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like
I know
7
I
swords.
know how that works.
Long Shot, which was weird because he's coming in the exclusive box set, but then this one is slightly tweaked, and we're getting a separate mojo too. And
isn't this blonde Robbie Reyes?
Hey, I was gonna say, look, there's half a Ghost Rider right there.
Yes, sir. Yep, that is a lot of Robbie Reyes parts.
Well, see, you get the body here, and then the head, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
And then the green suit, multiple man. Hopefully they sell this in solid cases because, it's an army builder. It should have been, one of the $15 options on Pulse.
Look at how you go from like Spiral, all the shit she comes with. Then you see Avalanche, she comes with a set of hands. Then it's like, oh wait, multiple man does come with hands. I didn't see them.
And a head, extra head too.
Oh, look at that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it goes a little bit, All
right.
He comes with a stoic face and he comes with a gridded face. That's minimum in my book. They should come with that. And then retro carded Marvel versus Capcom looking modular Iron Man with the proton cannon. Looks great. Coming in at $45 because of that proton cannon, which I don't hate it. I think 40 would have been better considering figures are 25 now, $15 for the cannon, but whatever. It is what it is. Prices are going the way they're going. I think he looks great. I like the primary colors. Bobby, fan of this look, Iron Man?
No.
It's okay to be wrong. He's got new effects pieces, at least. New effects pieces.
You asked the question. I thought it was safe to give an opinion.
No,
Shit,
it's not.
Man.
That was me.
What is this, a Spectre Creative podcast?
New arc reactor effect there. And that looks horrible. They should have at least unwarped this blast effect before they took promotional pictures of it. And then you get that nice, beautiful 1990s mullet, which was also sported in the 1990s by one Bobby Vala. So nice mulleted Iron Man.
In the 90s, I had a rat tail.
Okay.
Spiky hair when I was 8 years old, but no mullet.
Right.
Tony definitely had a mullet.
Oh yeah.
That's why he's laughing. Look, that's why he's laughing. He knows.
Well, I had dreadlocks.
Ooh. All right.
When I was like 15, 16.
Yeah.
All right.
Look at this picture, and Anthony just mentioned it in the chat. Look at that blast effect coming out the cannon.
Wow.
I mean, have you guys played Marvel vs. Capcom and seen him shoot the proton cannon?
No.
It's not a little drip like that. It's a blast coming out of that thing. So that looks ridiculous. And then retro carded in a retro looking box, and there's the proton cannon.
Didn't Mafex just do the same one?
It's coming out, but their proton cannon is actually smaller, and they packed it in with a first appearance Iron Man, like the classic one, like Marvel did or Hasbro did last year. I want to get to some super chats. I'm trying to get through this because there's a lot to get through. I might just skip the rest of this and just get to some Indiana Jones, but
yeah, who cares about this box set? This is stupid.
I do, because that is the best Desert Rat head sculpt that they've done so far.
I want the bullseye on your forehead, man.
Yeah, he's even got a tooth missing, which I had for years until I got it fixed.
I cannot wait till this comes out and people start putting that head on the Desert Rat figure.
All right, World Meta Cardboard, thank you so much, man. Tony's crocodile will eat Ryan's wicket. That's very suggestive. but okay.
I will say it right now. I'm going to do like a future giveaway. The first person that listens to this show that puts that head on a Desert Rat figure and emails it to Valaverse, I will send you a signed Desert Rat figure.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You got to be the first person now. Huh?
Well, because you can't sell them.
What are you talking about? They've been selling like crazy. I had to keep stock aside.
The signed ones?
The sign? Yeah, I kept a few aside.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, dude, I don't, I have to keep some stuff in the archives.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, World Made of Cardboard. And we got Matt Talon with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. VHS Wolverine pissed his britches, didn't he? Yes, he did. Looks like pee on his inner leg. Once again,
it does.
Not a fan of the cell shading look. And then we got another one from Matt Talon. Thank you so much. Is she really even a C level character? Talking about Spiral.
I'll give her C. You think about it like this: Wolverine A, Lady Shiva B, Spiral C.
But see, the C is in quotes, so I'm thinking he's talking cup size.
Oh.
Thank you, Matt.
I mean, you guys were talking about boobs earlier, so.
Yeah, it's a boob-heavy show. JB, thank you so much. He says, hi, question for Bobby and Tony. Do you think there is a market for 112 World War II figures? How to sell German soldiers without getting canceled? Good question.
I don't know.
Look, there's probably a market for everything.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's as that big as what like a modern military line. It's challenging in this day and age.
Yeah.
I thought about doing a series of World War II or maybe even Vietnam era Action Force. Think about if the Action Force team isn't just the new Action Force team, it was like something that was a unit from years past, and what would that have been? That Action Force team. But it wouldn't be like a whole line. It would maybe be like a couple figures. You test the waters with them. If they sell super well, then maybe you go back to that well a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. All right. Ramen Toy brings up a good point. World War II German soldiers and anything World War II is very much being done in scale modeling world, which is like, I've seen them. They're like third-party Mezco, like soft goods type stuff. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, in the 1/6 as well. But it is definitely not mass market for 112. That's very true.
There was a huge explosion of World War II collecting in the 1/6 scale kind of a arena in the early pretty much carrying on from Saving Private Ryan. It exploded. You had Dragon, you had Blue Box Industries, all these different companies doing that. But even that kind of collecting has really died off now. I don't see it in this scale. There aren't that many people who want to have Thor standing next to an SS soldier or something.
Yeah.
Hey, but then again,
it would be cool for Captain America. Sorry,
I gave you one of the best World War II figures out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Matt Talon, thank you. He says, Bobby had a rat tail? I can't see it. Not being critical. My current long 80s hair is bad enough, but a rat tail? Really? He's making fun of you.
Dude, that was like the thing to do in 1989 or 1990. I had blonde, spiky hair and a rat tail, dude. Every 6 to 8 year old had that shit back then in the 90s.
Yeah, you should have seen Bobby's Jersey hair look there, Big Aquanet. Freaking Poison. He's a big fan of Poison. All right, and then Retro Blessing. I can't get over the poetry of this. Bob Villa did home repair. Bobby Vala is here looking like he took over this old house from Villa to Vala. No home stays old. Thank you, Michael.
That was a good one, Michael.
And then Matt Talon, once again, thank you. He says, Vietnam, please.
The problem with Vietnam is they had really shitty looking gear. World War II had iconic looking gear, iconic looking weapons. Vietnam to me is one of my least favorite eras of war. everything was so basic and just so disheveled looking and thrown together. I am not a fan of the Vietnam era M16. It's one of the most boring looking rifles. I'm probably going to get blasted for saying that, but it's like there weren't really nice looking gear. Like things like, look at a Thompson, look at an M1, like that shit's a work of art. You know, a 1911, like still being produced today. It's like those, like literally they look amazing. You know, World War II BDUs and spats and just their web gear. It's like everything was so functional and looked so good. And now, and like it was done in an era where, you know, factories and production put time and effort and love into what they did and manufactured. It's like Vietnam was just, I don't know, man. It was literally like just thrown together like secondhand shit. That's what it looked like. That's what the Vietnam War looked like.
Right, the M79 grenade launcher is one of the ugliest firearms in the entire world.
Yeah, it is.
Looks like a blunderbuss.
There's an idea. Pirates. Okay. Or Daredevil. They're giving us a new Daredevil on the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man body. Kind of a controversial body, not quite as articulated as the retro-carded Spider-Man body.
How dare you! I've heard so many channels say it's the best Spider-Man ever.
It doesn't have the range. It has the joints, the same joints. It doesn't have the range.
Get him, Tony. Get him.
It has the toe joints, which is nice, and they made the toe joints pinless, which McFarlane still can't do for some reason. But yeah, no, I think it looks fine. But it comes in a 3-pack for $75. You might want the Elektra. Like, she's got some jersey hair. Talking to jersey hair.
Awesome hair.
Yeah, that's pretty
awesome
cool.
Hair.
And then there's her head wrap look. I don't know, whatever. And then like a first appearance bullseye with the blue chest. That's a 3-pack. So they showed that. And there's Tony. There's Desert Rat. There's the windowless box. And then they teased Strife. So we're finally getting a new Strife, because the one they released in 2014, Toys R Us exclusive, like sells for over $100. And I've been hounding them for a new Strife, and they finally listened to me. So there it is. Looks fine. All right. Let's move on to how about some Indiana Jones?
Yes, please.
You guys down for that?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Unfortunately, Indiana Jones is being brought to us by the Black Series team. So once I saw them presenting, I'm like, oh boy, where's this going to go? Because Black Series dialed back articulation. And sure enough, single jointed knees, single jointed elbows, no torso articulation. Looks like ball joint at the waist. But overall aesthetics, I think, looks fine. Thoughts, guys?
Tony, please.
Some of the other figures in the line look a lot. The worst figure in this line is Indy. Like that. This is supposed to be from Raiders. He looks more like, you know, late 90s Harrison Ford. He looks a lot older than what he did when he was in Raiders. Obviously, I put out a short video about these and talked about how none of the 5 characters they're bringing out are from the same from the same scenes in the film. He really needed to have gloved hands, this Indy, and then of course, you know, all the Hasbros are just coming out saying, "Oh, you're overthinking the detail. Like, who needs to worry about details like that?" It's like, bro, we're collectors. We do think about details like that. That's why you get so many different repainted versions of Wolverine. You know, what was that Wolverine you just showed before? Like, collectors have been asking for that. They've been asking for a Wolverine with his peed pants, and you know, you need all these different versions. We're collectors, and to say, like, why am I worrying about the fact that he doesn't have gloves?
Yeah. So I here's an equivalent for the people that are bitching about that. Like, oh, what do you need to, who cares about those? You're overthinking it. Here's a good example. Say you had a Jedi Luke with the flap down on his tunic or his shirt from the final duel, but he was packaged in a 2-pack with a Gamorrean guard in a Jabba's palace scene. That is the equivalent of what Tony's trying to say. The details matter, guys. They absolutely matter.
Yeah. Do you think it's because they want to drag it out into future waves? You can't just get.
They're just not putting that effort in, and I can tell you right now. Listen, nothing against the team of people. I didn't know them personally. I could tell you right now, the one kid all the way on the left, he started out as a temp, and they had him in a closet. Like he literally his office was working in a closet.
It looked like he was in a closet.
They gave him like stupid projects to do. So it's like, I just don't see these people like putting that sort of effort in. Literally, these are like exact, like blown up versions of the 4-inch line. It's like literally down to the articulation. Like, man, no effort was put in, you know?
At least they didn't scale up the holster. You remember the holster on that 3/4 one? Like that actually looks okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no bicep swivel there. So that's a problem if you want to.
This figure does have alternate hands, but it doesn't have gloved and ungloved hands. Now, yeah, sure. I know they want to bring out other versions of Indy as the line goes on, but you can give us a jacketless Indy from the Cairo market scene. You can do a jacketless Indy with his sleeve ripped off from Temple of Doom. There's all these variations. All you had to do with this figure was give him a couple of extra hands. Have you also noticed, Bobby, that this particular figure comes with the like pistol support hand, like you do with Valaverse?
Well, I mean, so I saw that and I was like, hey, look at that hand. But then I was like, oh wait, no, that holds the idol also. So
yeah,
I think
but you know, it's not something they've done often. And the weird thing is that Indy pretty much exclusively fires his revolver one-handed.
Yep.
It's very, very rare that he uses two hands to fire a pistol.
Yeah. I will say that compared to the Black Series, he's actually packed in with quite a few accessories.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Black Series rarely comes with extra hands. Like, I think the Dark Trooper had a couple. The first Han Solo had a couple. Dagobah Luke had a couple, but not many of them. So there's Indy with the whip and the idol running. I think it looks okay. It's just, I wish, like you would have, like you said, Bobby, they would have put in that extra effort.
Yeah.
Double jointed knees, elbows, bicep swivel. There's the accessories. You get the idol. And then Tote. That's fine for a evil Nazi guy. I love the jacket.
I haven't pre-ordered any of these, but I am tempted to pre-order an Indy figure just so I can put a fedora on Desert Rat. That's going to be an expensive hat for an action figure.
How about that melting face, man? I think that's great. I love that they gave him the melting face.
See, I'm surprised they gave the melting face, but I'm also surprised they gave the scarred hand. Think about what he was doing with that hand when you see that for the first time.
Oh, yes. He was doing a salute.
You know, so it's like, ooh, that's a little,
but maybe that's why his pinky is off to the side a little.
Could be. I mean, could be.
Oh, what's he a Trekkie now?
I mean, it's just, it's literally the blown up version of the 4-inch ones. I wouldn't be surprised if they still have, those probably weren't digital molds. Those were probably done by hand and wax. But it's like, again, it's like little things like Tony said in his video. Guys, go watch that video. Give him the hanger. Like, it's like little things like that, man, would just show that maybe you care. You know, it's like what this team did, the design team, they probably Googled pictures of Indiana Jones or had the figures, and that was it. It's like, dude, take an hour and 45 minutes and watch the movie. Like, like just put the effort in. It's like, this is such like low hanging fruit. And like, you could totally see the little bit of effort that they put into this. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah. And speaking of low effort, no, Jeff, the indie hat is not removable.
Oh, it isn't?
No.
I suppose it wouldn't look as correct if it was removable, which it's probably better for the aesthetics of the figure to have it molded in. But you look at this melted face here on Arnold Tote. They can sell that at retail, but the Goblin Queen can't show a little bit of side boob.
They have a almost fully naked Hercules figure on the pegs at retail, but it's
Has he got nipples?
I don't know if that one has nipples, but I mean he's wearing a Speedo.
What I do find interesting is that normally when Hasbro stuff goes up for pre-order, it sells out very quickly. I believe these are still available. So
it's kind of par for the course for Indiana Jones lines.
Yeah,
they're not good sellers for whatever reason.
And that's the thing. It's like the 2008, the 4-inch line, fantastic line. I mean, granted, the Crystal Skull stuff, who gives a shit? But they went so deep with it, and they gave you so much stuff. And granted, I hate Dwight with a passion, but he loves Indiana Jones, and he worked on that line, and he kind of, granted, he didn't give you gloved hands on the correct indie, but you can tell he put effort into it. And I remember him telling me, like, they got to go to the Lucas archives and he put on like a screen worn hat and this and that. Like they got to see all that stuff. So they knew what to put in and how accurate to make things. But it's like, this team is not putting that effort in. It's like, you could tell, man, you could totally tell. It's like, look, the dude in the picture that they were hyping up for the indie live stream is the same dude who was running the team that gave you the Rancor and tried to pigeonhole some dog shit at the last minute to try to get that Rancor funded, and it didn't. So it's like, I don't know if I really trust this team all that much.
And then we have like an anorexic Sala. He looks way too skinny. Like, this is weird to me. And also his face is not good. I think this is like the loser of the Wave 1.
You know, and oddly, I want to buy about 5 or 6 of these so I can set up my Iraq diorama with Desert Rat.
There you go.
Oh, cool.
Dude, he was a peg warmer in the 2008 line. Yeah. A peg warmer. Do you know how many peg warmers they have in this series that were peg warmers in the 2008 series? Like, did you guys do no fucking research at all? At all. I think
even in the
told me that Tote was a peg warmer back in the 80s line. In the Kenner 80s line, he was a peg warmer. So it's like, what are you guys doing?
Gyro Swordsman, this guy, they were all peg warmers in the 80s line.
Man.
I'll say the one thing they did right was starting with Raiders and not skipping to Indy 5, which is not out yet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, that was smart. Like, start with the classic stuff and then skip Crystal Skull and then maybe sprinkle in the 5th one. But
I was talking with Michael, and I told him what they actually should have done was, because the way Lucasfilm works, it's not like Marvel, where Marvel, if you want to do an actor likeness, you have to get their approval for it. Anything Lucasfilm owns the rights to your look in that movie, so they don't need your approval for likenesses. So what you should have done was you should have done a sprinkling of figures across the 3 movies. You should have done Raiders indie. You should have done a Temple of Doom indie. You should have done Jones Sr. and maybe like a short round. If you'd have came out with those figures right off the bat, I think people would have been more excited. But now what you're showing us is you're showing us a bunch of peg warmers, hoping that the line does well to get us to future movies.
Yeah.
You know? And that's kind of what happened in the 2008 line. They almost didn't make it to, or I think, go watch Michael's video because it's perfect. But the 2008 line, I think the Temple of Doom figures were the last ones to come out, and they went to like discount or like Ollie's or a store like that because the retailers wouldn't take it because they were stuck with all this Crystal Skull garbage.
Yeah. The one thing I want to say about, well, two things. That does not look like John Rhys or Rhys Davies at all.
John Rhys Davies.
John Rhys Davies. But he's got the same issue as the Black Series Obi-Wan with that forearm sleeve. It only works if they're by his side. If you have him up in a pose like this, it's like his sleeve is floating above his arm.
Yeah.
And I hate the way that looks. So I don't know. Maybe soft goods is like the only way to go with a character that's wearing a robe like this, but which of course is more expensive. But I just hate that look. And those single jointed elbows are just terrible.
Single joint makes it look so basic. Like
yeah.
Nobody, if you had single jointed elbows with a bicep swivel, okay, I'll give you a pass. But it's like when you do this, dude, it's almost like we're like looking at like 2005 here, man. Like this is bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like single jointed elbows and no bicep swivel, no torso articulation, no double jointed knees. Like, damn, man, damn. It's like Super 7. Yeah, someone just said it in the chat. It's like Super 7. Might as well make this figure $55 because people pay it. People pay it for 5 points of articulation. Just do it. And then they buy the product takes 15 to 18 months to produce. Maybe for you with a shit factory and a shit team, I was able to get a series out of all females in 11 months with more articulation, more parts. More pieces, 15 to 18 months. Don't buy that sauce.
Yeah. And then
let me go off on a little tangent real quick, right? Because Bobby just before talking about you were talking about people's likenesses, and it just made me think of with the Hasbro selfie series, what nobody is okay, everyone's talking about how bad the figures are actually looking and stuff, but what no one is talking about is the fact that to get this selfie figure made, you basically need to give Hasbro a 3D scan of your face. And with the advent of facial recognition technology, there's no one worried about this. What happens when Elon Musk buys Twitter and then buys Hasbro and sells all your 3D facial scan to China? And I'm going full Eddie Bravo here.
That's a really interesting point because I kind of want to do it to see what the fine print says. I wonder if there's anything like that in there. Anyone who's done it and has read the fine print, please let us know if there's anything like that. Like, because Hasbro's going with a third party.
Yeah.
What is that third party providing as far as legal terms? Because when it comes to like using your face, like, listen, man, I don't know if you want to just let that out there,
That's something to consider. To me, they look so bad, I would never even consider it. Like, to me, it like if Pierce Brosnan was to get one done, it would look like Nintendo 64 GoldenEye Pierce Brosnan. Like what they look like. That's literally what they look like, man.
They should just call it that GoldenEye selfie series.
It's the cross-eyed selfie series. All the figures are like this. Like. If you want to see a really good example of a selfie series figure, go and watch Talker Art's latest video. He ordered one at what was it, San Diego Comic-Con or whatever it was, and it arrived, and he basically holds it up next to Desert Rat because I think he chose that because it's an example of a real world person who's had an action, and yeah. Talker was not impressed.
Michael says Hasbro selfie wouldn't take my scan. They said it kept coming through as a hand with an upraised middle finger. All right. We have Belloq in his Levitical priest garb here. Kind of a weird choice to go with this look first, but it's fine.
Well, it's the most interesting costume he's got, but like Bobby was saying, the look and the aesthetic of the characters, if you want the better visually appealing, and that's the right word, villains in Indiana Jones are actually from Temple of Doom and The Last Crusade, not the first movie where everyone's just wearing, khaki shirts, cargo shirts, and, thuggies from Temple of Doom, and then some of the more outlandish German uniforms from The Last Crusade. They look way better on a display shelf.
Yeah.
It's like, and the other thing is, dude, he's in this outfit for like 2 minutes. And
yeah,
what would have been cooler, he looked great in his white suit. And I'm trying to remember, I'm pretty sure he's in the white suit with the white hat when he grabs the submachine gun and he backs everyone off the arc when Indy's pointing the rocket launcher at it. That's the one you should have had. That's a great Belloq. Giving him that submachine gun and giving him that look, shit, man, he would look awesome. Because then at least people might have bought him for like, a background character in photography or a cool suited guy. But it's like, now I got this guy in these ceremonial robes. Okay, thanks.
Well, maybe if photographers were going to take a picture of like a bris or something, then
I guess. I mean, okay, so you're giving us Tote with the melting face. You're giving us the arc. Well, where's his?
We haven't got there yet, but yeah.
No, I know, but like, where's his blow up face? And it's like, you're probably not going to do the other, German guy with the melting face. So it's like, what's again, going back to like, Tony's video, it's like, what do you guys are like piecemealing stuff from all over the movie.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're trying to take a 2-hour movie and do one series of figures that covers it all in 6 figures. Okay, great.
Just to backtrack a little bit, Pillars of Adventure says Hasbro deletes your scan after 60 days. Okay.
So they say.
Yeah. So delete the scan after 60 days from shipping date is not used for anything other than replacements before that. Here in Australia, one of our mobile service providers, or what do you call it, cell phone service providers, company called Optus, they're in the media at the moment because they had like a breach where they accidentally released the information on 2 million of their customers. This shit happens,
Yeah. It does.
In the modern day with facial recognition technology. You see that what's that movie? Minority Report, Yeah. That shit's not we're only a few years away from that kind of thing.
No, a few years. I think we're almost there. But anyway,
hopefully by then, California is earthquake, whatever. The divide. Let's go, Bobby.
So there's Belloq, and then Marion. With they made a point to say the monkey has a digitally printed face just like her.
Whoa, guys! Whoa!
Yeah.
That a printed face on the monkey? Yeah. Holy shit! That's amazing! That is amazing. I cannot wait to pre-order this figure now. Now that I know that, dude, that's like amazing shit that they're doing right there. Wow! Hold the phone here, fellas.
If you want to impress me, you've got to do that monkey from that one brief shot where he gets his cock out. That's actually in the film. So a lot of people have been talking about how poor this likeness is. I don't think it's the likeness. She's just got this really odd expression, like she's sitting in a boardroom meeting and just crapped her pants and went, "What do I do now?"
Well, she's just like this, But I wonder if part of it's because they didn't digitally scan actors' faces back then, so they have to kind of go off of pictures instead of an actual scan. I don't know. But,
I mean, listen, the sculptors out there nowadays are so talented. It's like,
yeah, true. And look, shout out to them.
Her expression looks like someone trying as hard as possible to not be expressive. That is, I'm getting my passport photo taken face.
Yeah. But I do want to give them props for doing a female action figure who has included kitchenware with her. So shout out to Hasbro. There's a nice frying pan with your female action figure. All we need is a kitchen diorama now, and we're good to go, baby.
Throw in the kitchen sink.
Am I going to get canceled yet? I'm waiting. There it is, the frying pan. All right. What if she came with like a sandwich or like a half-made sandwich?
Jesus, Ryan.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble for this. All right. You're about to see a frying pan. You're gonna see a frying pan coming from behind me and hit me in the head in a minute. Got the old battle axe upstairs right now. All right. So there's the monkey, and Marion. There she is posed with the frying pan for some whacking action. And then there's the box.
Those
the windowless box.
Single jointed knees.
Yeah. You know, they should have taken a cue from the Marvel Legends team and done an Indiana Jones VHS windowless box. That would have been kind of cool.
This figure looks way, way better on the box than in the photography that they've put up on the website.
Well, that's probably a digital render on the front of that box.
Oh, this is totally a digital render.
Yeah. Which I don't know why they do that. It just gets them in trouble because the digital renders are never accurate.
Yeah.
You know, you can end up having a Silverhawk's Quicksilver face that looks halfway decent, and then you get your product and it looks like someone ran it over with an ATV. You know, that's cool. Yep. $55.
And like Bobby mentioned earlier, there it is on the box. Build an artifact. There it is on the side, and it is the Ark of the Covenant. Build an artifact. I'm not against it. It's fine. But Bobby, you mentioned earlier this week, either in our chat or online somewhere, you wish it would have been vac metalized.
You don't. I understand that they're trying to move away from vac metalization because it's terrible for the environment. Toy companies still do it, so their factories will do it. It's expensive, but also they've moved away from that. But they can do the chrome paint. Like my factories have it. We're looking at doing it in future items. You can do the chrome paint. What they're going to do is they're going to spray this thing. The typical, I think it's 8004, which is the gold. That's what they're going to spray this thing. And it's a fucking terrible idea. If you want to spray something, you spray the side carry staffs because that's what those were. Those were just painted gold wood. But the Ark itself was shiny. It's like, dude, look at this thing. Look at how unimpressive this looks. Unimpressive. Look at the one that came with the 4-inch line. Look at the one they did as a mail away for the 1/6 scale figures. Impressive. Vac metalized. Like, are they even gonna fill this thing with sand like they did in the 4-inch one? So it's like, dude, again, it's just like, does Eric, the kid, the designer that was on the left there, is he aware that factories can do the chrome paint? Does he even know? Have you seen other product with it? It's like, that's the kind of stuff that you as a designer, you have to go above and beyond. You have to go to the toy stores. You got to buy other product. You got to see what's out there because you got to know what is possible so that you can say, can we do this for our line? You don't just go like, you know, with the bare minimum. You know, it's like, dude, man, you know, it's like, to make an Office Space reference, bro, put some more pins on your suspenders there, pal. Put in the effort.
And there it is in real life. This is taken. It's a screen grab from the panel, and as you can see, the promotional picture, it's very gold. Here, it's really dulled down.
So bad. Yeah. So unimpressive.
Build an artifact.
The Ark that comes with the Well of the Souls in the vintage line from, what was that, 1981? I said it in my video about the subject. It is one of the most gorgeous action figure accessories ever made. This ain't that.
And if I'm not mistaken, isn't that too small? Doesn't it look too small?
Too small.
Yeah, it looks a bit too small.
When him and Sala lift it out of the sarcophagus, it's huge.
All right. Well, there it is. The build an artifact line, wave 1. Then they're going to do a retro figure on a retro card. These are the Indiana Jones figures with front butts.
Yeah, look, they're doing one figure great. Like they when they did the Star Wars retro line. Okay, they've finally gotten around. I think they're coming out with C-3PO and R2 at long last. But what they'll end up doing, because they have said that this line will eventually have unreleased characters. So
That's cool.
I mean, the one that those of us who collect the vintage Indiana Jones line, the one figure we always said was missing was a generic German soldier. I don't know if they're going to do that, but what they will do is pack it in with a fucking board game.
Yeah,
so these figures
you're
are
right.
$15 each, and the one unreleased figure that we all want will be $50 with a. And I've already got the vintage Raiders of the Lost Ark board game because it's got beautiful artwork on it.
No, weren't the Hasbro vintage Star Wars figures slightly a different scale than the vintage?
No, they were same scale, but
Okay.
the plastic texture's not the same. They were very gummy, very bendy.
Yeah.
Like when you buy a Stan Solo Repro Star Wars figure or custom Star Wars figure, it actually feels like Kenner-plastic and the joints move like Kenner-plastic. I've handled the Hasbro Retro collection and they can't capture that.
Yeah. I know that McFarlane, he's doing the superpowers and he's doing figures that weren't in the line before, but they're too big. They don't fit with the vintage, which kind of, that really sucks. All right. So there's the vintage Indiana Jones, and then they're doing a role play Staff of Ra headpiece. So you got the headpiece and the shaft and the base. I don't know, but you put the shaft in the base, but you got to put it in the right hole. You put the shaft in the front hole, not the back hole of the base. So when you do that, when you put the shaft in the front hole, you will see it illuminate. You put the shaft there. See, there it is in the front hole. And when it goes in, it bursts forth with light from the tip. The Staff of Ra toy. That's what I'm talking about.
You know how collectors put the shaft in their back hole? They backed the Mattel Creations Eternia.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could put it in the back hole if you want, but it won't light up. So you got to put it in the front hole.
If I were design director and I was sitting in the meeting where my team pitched this to me, I would literally have just gotten up and walked out of the room. What are you doing? Like, this is absolutely useless to me. I mean, granted, I'm sure there's Indiana Jones fans that are very excited about this, and that's awesome for you. Mm-hmm. I'm a very big Indiana Jones fan, and I'm just like, what the absolute fuck?
I mean, why not just make the whole staff? Not just the tip. No one wants just the tip. You want the whole staff in the front hole.
They could have done a fertility. Speaking of front and back holes, you need a fertility idol.
Or a whip?
Did the lettering on the Staff of Ra headpiece light up in the movie?
Yeah, so I was going to say that. I was like, it didn't light up in the movie. It just blasted through the crystal. It didn't light up because the whole thing was metal. It wasn't. The only thing translucent on it was the ruby in the middle.
Michael says you can get actual accurate metal medallions from Etsy sellers right now.
There you go.
This is going to be the biggest peg warmer. If you buy this at full retail, I feel sorry for you because this is going to be like $15 at GameStop at some point.
So bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
The people pitching this were like, "Hey, this some collectors will want this on their shelf next to the 1-to-1 scaled Mjolnir," and it's like, no, we don't.
They know.
Yeah. No, we don't. People want an Indiana Jones whip on the wall, and not this thing.
It just sucks because it's kind of like the way I felt, and I think I said it before or on some other show about the Diamond Select Lord of the Rings figures. It's like you have the opportunity in the 2020s when the technology we have to do the best possible products out there. You can give the definitive versions of them. And it's like, I've said it, that Lord of the Rings, the first wave or two were terrible. Granted, the new ones are better, and they put in the items that were missing from the early figures. But I don't see them doing any more. I don't see them going like Toy Biz deep with it, and that's unfortunate. You gave me an Aragorn, my favorite character. His face looks like dog shit. So it's like, we're never going to see a new one. You didn't use the digital face printing on it. Shame on you. It's like, like it's going backwards. So then it's like, I see this indie line and I'm just like, wow, if this stuff doesn't sell, we won't see anymore. Like, you know, and I'm not telling people to buy it just so we see other series. Like Hasbro should suffer and not produce more because they made a shit product and they had a team that put zero effort into it. What I'm saying is it sucks for us as fans and collectors that we might not see more because they made poor choices that we didn't want, and they tried forcing stuff down our throat, and we're like, no, we're not going to buy it. It's not what we want. But instead I'm saying, oh, that's not what you want. Okay, we'll give you what you want. No, they're going to be like, oh, well, that didn't sell well, so we're not going to do any more. You know?
All right.
Vicious cycle.
Any final thoughts on the Indiana Jones stuff before we move on to G.I. Joe?
I think Bobby summed it up pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's do
sucks,
I'll be back in a sec.
Sure.
It sucks, just like Tony said in his video. I really wanted 6-inch Indy. I'm still probably going to pre-order these just to get them. I'm not happy about it, though. I'm not happy. Now, granted, I will say this. I was surprised that they're only 25. I would have thought that they would easily be 30 all day long.
Me too.
So at 25, I'm like, okay, but still, it's like 25 and I'm getting single joints in the elbows and knees. Like, man, shit.
What's that Black Series team? I would say just pre-order the Indiana Jones. I think the rest you'll find probably less than retail eventually.
Yeah.
Especially that Sala. That does not look good.
Yep, the Sala, the Marion.
Yeah.
All of them. Belloq. Like, think about all those figures that are in there. They're going to be peg warmers. Even Tote, and all of them. They're all going to be peg warmers.
Yep. All right. So before we move on to G.I. Joe, let's clear up some of these super chats. Thank you guys so much. Jeff W., he says, in 2019, Mega Constructs did some World War II German soldiers for their Call of Duty line. They did 2 different soldier packs with German troops. Okay. So, I mean, I guess you could do them. You just can't have the bad symbol on them, right?
Yeah.
That would never fly.
Yeah. Like in 2008, the Indie line, when they did the head German commander from Last Crusade, he had the black band on his arm. He just didn't have the symbol in the middle of it.
Right. Action Figure Enjoyer, thank you for the super chat. Congrats on 2,000 subs, you F tiers or F tier. He says, do you guys collect Mythic Legions and Zezre Studios combatants? So I only have one Mythic Legion figure, but I like it. I think it's a great figure. Very good quality. Very cool. It's the big green orc looking dude. Bobby, you just got the Headless Horseman, right?
I did. So I don't normally collect Mythic Legions. They do amazing stuff. I love the 4 Horsemen guys. I did, some work for them for a very short period of time back when I was going to school, and they do amazing stuff. And I love how far they've come with it and the stuff they do. And when I saw that Headless Horseman, I was like, damn, that's cool. That's like an impulse buy for me. I saw it and it was just like, I think that's cool. I'm going to buy it. And I bought it and it came the other day and holy shit. Now, granted, it was expensive and I have yet to actually like deep dive into it to see if it matched the price that it was. But I was impressed by what I got. Like the box is gorgeous. Like the front of the box like flaps over the regular box and it's heavy game board. And it on the other side is like a diorama. So you can place him in front of it. He looks amazing. Those guys are just so talented with the stuff they do. So, when I see something cool, I'll get it, but I love what they do.
And Zezre Studios, I have not bought any, but it looks like what they're doing is really cool too. They're doing like a gladiator.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Thank you, Action Figure Enjoyer. Matt Talon, once again, thank you so much. He says, Tote looks fine with his removable hat. There's no excuse for Hasbro to give us this indie.
The difference is Tote doesn't have. Is he completely bald or not? Doesn't have a lot of hair.
I think he's got the horseshoe.
Yeah, the cul-de-sac.
Yeah. So it's easier to sculpt a hat to go on a bald head than it is. Indy's got a fair bit of hair. Once you sculpt that, it doesn't flatten down like real hair does. So
yeah. Within it, they'd have to be a swappable head. But what they'll do is they'll give us a second indie figure without the hat.
Yep.
And then you'll buy the same figure again. Thank you, Matt Talon, very much. And then Lyle Convoy, he says, I feel that other companies are looking at Super 7 and cutting down on quality and articulation because they know customers will be dumb enough to buy it because they bought Super 7s.
I mean,
maybe.
when you have licenses that nobody else has, which is unfortunate, you end up like being able to kind of do whatever you want with it. And it's like, there's only a finite amount of Thundercats fans out there, but they're hungry fans that don't get a lot of product. So anything that you put out, they're gonna be like, oh, cool. Like, I'm a huge Thundercats fan, so I'm, most likely gonna get it. But it's unfortunate that they're pushed into a corner where it's like, oh, you're a big Thundercats fan? Okay, where's your $55 for this 5-point articulated figure? It's like, oh shit. Okay. Whereas like, okay, so we have Legends, but Diamond Select. Now, granted, Diamond Select doesn't put out the volume that Legends does, but there's alternatives. Mafex puts out Marvel figures. So it's like you have alternatives. You have other companies putting out stuff so that if you don't like one, you can go to the other. And, you're given that option. Here, it's like, shit, man. It's like, all right, they took He-Man away from them. Great idea. Because now it's like we have Mattel kind of handling He-Man a little better now. Because it's like when it was Matty Collector, it was like, okay, but now we're getting some cool stuff here and there, especially with the Origins line. But man, it just sucks that, I feel for the Thundercats fans. I really do, because you guys shouldn't be pressured to buy an inferior product at such a high price and then have someone tell you, well, it's because our MOQ is low. Well, no, because I bet Thundercats is a higher MOQ than Action Force, and they're probably a bigger factory, so things should be cheaper. Or some in a smaller factory. Well, not anymore, but so it's like you can't say those kind of things. You can't make excuses for your stuff because someone like me is going to call you out on them. It's like, no, dude, no. Like, your Thundercats MOQ is way higher than Action Force, even though it's because Action Force is just starting out, whereas Thundercats has the longevity and the equity in their brand.
How much were they asking for that Thunder Tank?
500.
500. That was before shipping, I think.
I think it was 450. I think it was 450 plus shipping.
450 plus shipping. So
yeah.
$500. $500. That's what an Eternia is, but that's neither here nor there. But it's just like, I just feel bad for the Thundercats fans. I just, it's unfortunate that you guys don't get more. Same thing, with now granted, Ramon's doing Silverhawks figures, but I can't speak on what may be coming out in the future or anything like that. But it's like, at least they gave you Silverhawks, not primer gray Silverhawks with a busted face.
All right. Greg Fenstad says, build an artifact I'm good with, but you run into issues with what to use for artifacts after the arc. Yeah. What other artifact do you build? I don't know, man. Maybe the dude that gets his heart ripped out as a Build-A-Figure.
With Temple of Doom, I imagine you're going to get one Shankara stone with each figure. You need 3 stones, and then Indy will have a bigger bag that you can fit them all in, or something. I don't know.
Or they'll have like the rock wall when he was at the village, like where they all went into. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or the cave table with all the different grails, all the different cups from Lost.
But again, it's a very good point, because listen, dude, I remember when I was working on the Legends vehicle line. You're two waves into it, and you're like, shit, what small vehicles can I do for $40? I tried to tell them, like, guys, we're gonna run out of shit to do real quick. And
all right. Matt Talon, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, I imagine that there will be light from the tip, whether it's the front or the back hole. They were pretty specific. It has to be the front hole. The back hole just makes everything dark.
Yeah.
So
what if you tried 2 holes?
You would need 2 staffs.
Obvious. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Action figure enjoyer. Thank you so much. He says, thoughts on Hasbro CEO Chris. I love Cox. Promise. I don't think that's how you spell his last name, Cox. Promise to increase profits by 50% whilst laying off employees. I mean, that's a whole show in itself, but it's scummy. It's profits over people. It sucks. Anything?
Yeah. I mean, listen, you guys, those of you listening to the show, you know I have zero love for that company. And what they are doing is absolutely awful. Yeah. They try to sugarcoat it, make it seem like everything's great. Look, we're doing this. We're going to increase this. We're blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, we'll cut here and there. And it's like, just come out and say we're laying people off. Because you sugarcoating it makes you look like an asshole. And then when the news comes out by another news source, oh, Hasbro laid off a bunch of people today. Oh, that's where that increase is going to come from, huh? Yeah. So 60, I think it was something like $60 million in salaries over the next 18 months. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Listen, guys, they do it like they're notorious. How many other big toy companies do you hear of doing massive layoffs every couple of years? They did one in 2012. They did one in 2013. They did one when I was there, a small one. I think it was 2017. And then they did the mass one in 2018 that I was part of. And now they're doing more. It's like, guys, this is the biggest toy company in the world that makes billions of dollars. Like, what are you doing? And I remember, like, they said in 2013 that they laid off some people and they were going to bring in new, younger people, at entry-level positions. So it's like, okay, we got rid of a lot of older people and, that they considered stale, but they were very talented designers, and then brought in entry-level people. And it's like, okay, well, what are you doing now? Still getting rid of more old people, more old people? Dude, what I would love for a news outlet to ask Hasbro is, tell us how many people retire in a year each year. I would love to know. I would love to know the percentage of people that actually retire from that company. Dude, it was a running joke there. Like, we all knew. Everyone knew. There was no job security there. We all knew and joked about it. Either you leave for better pastures or you get laid off. They get everyone in the end. There's like 1% of people that maybe retire, and it's so rare that people retire. But it's like, dude, they're an awful, awful corporation. And it's like, I think it's such bullshit when they're like, most ethical company award. It's like, are you serious? Are you absolutely serious with that shit? Like, really? Okay, great. How much did Hasbro pay you to get that award? Because you certainly weren't doing it on merit.
Alongside laying off all these people, like, I put out a video a couple of weeks ago about the G.I. Joe classified line becoming a Pulse only exclusive. And at the time I was going off the information that I had, and then everyone was sort of jumping in the comments going, this is false information, this video is clickbait, because it only affects the UK and Europe. It doesn't affect the US. All right. Okay, maybe I was a little bit quick off the mark there, but in the press releases about this, the corporate meeting they had last week and Blueprint 2.0, one of the ways they're going to save or cut 250 million in operating costs, 60 million is going in wages, but they've said in there they're going to focus on direct to consumer using the HasLab Pulse model. So if you can't see the writing on the wall that, okay, it's only affecting the UK and Europe at the moment, they're heading in that direction, because if they can, when they're not selling to retailers and they're selling directly to the public, they're charging you full price.
Yeah.
And not only that, you're paying $50 for a membership, and you still can't get your fucking Serpentor anyway. So,
it's already started in the States. I mean, their starting lineup off the bat, Pulse exclusive.
Yeah. And I find it hilarious that they're putting so much stock into that shit line for $50 a figure, and it's Pulse only. So basically, retail was probably like, "Yeah, we don't want to take that. A $50 figure, we don't want to take that.
Yeah.
Get out of here."
Surely some people remember how badly they pegged Worm 20 years ago.
Yeah, and look, this Chris Cox clown laying off all these employees, $60 million worth of payroll. I think you said, Tony. You think he's taking a pay cut?
Nope.
No, but if he can reduce Hasbro's operating costs by $250 million over the next couple of years, which is what he will end up getting a massive bonus.
That's how he's going to make more by laying people off.
The other thing I was told, now I thought this was in the investor call. However, someone also informed me of this, that they changed their bonus structure. The way it worked when you were at Hasbro, you didn't get like a Christmas bonus. You got a bonus in February, and it was based on the company. If the company did well, you got the bonus. And the bonus was nice, but it's like they show you your bonus number, and then when you get it direct deposited, it's half of that because of taxes. But I was told that now they're changing the bonus structure so that it's not just the company that has to do well, your team has to hit goal. So basically, say you're on the starting lineup team and your product doesn't sell well and doesn't hit your goal, you're not getting your bonus. So say you're on a shit team and you get shafted. Say you're on a shit team and the company still turns a profit of billions of dollars, but your team doesn't, you don't get a bonus. So it's like, okay, well, what if you just put me like, what if you set me up to fail? What if I'm just on a shit team, but with shit product, with a shit price point, shit license? It's fucked up.
I'm betting right now that Indiana Jones team ain't getting a bonus next year.
Dude, it's just like shit, man. And the thing is, if the way it was back when I was there, if the lower tier, if all the employees didn't get a bonus, guys like Brian Goldner, all the top level people, CEOs, they didn't get their bonus. So those motherfuckers are like, you're not taking a huge chunk of money from me, so we're going to do whatever we can to make sure all the peons get their bonus so that we can get our bonus. Now think of it like this. The bonus was based on like, forget what it was, what the percentage was. It was a percentage of what your salary is. That's your bonus. So you got a good chunk of money. A guy like Goldner, who was making, I think his salary was like $3 million a year. It's like, dude, even if your bonus is 10%, that's a big fucking chunk of money. You think that motherfucker's not going to get that bonus? You bet your ass he's going to get that bonus. And I bet his bonus has incentives with it, with like stock and things like that. So it's like, listen, man, those upper guys will make sure they will do whatever is necessary to get their bonus, because you are definitely not taking money away from them.
All right. Thanks once again, Action Figure Enjoyer.
Sorry, I've been going off on tangents tonight. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Little Robbie, thank you for the $20 super chat, man. He says, Bobby, what are the chances we see Rambo in Action Force?
0.
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone is very expensive.
Sly is probably super, super expensive. So it's like, not only are you going to have to pay Sly, you're going to have to pay whoever the movie studios that owns the Rambo rights. It's like, that just seems like a lot of money.
I mean, do you want to pay maybe $80 for an Action Force figure? Because I bet that Rambo, after everything's said and done, that's probably what it's clocking in at.
Well, look at it this way. NECA does a lot of 80s movies figures. They did Commando. Yeah. They did Predator. So it's like you got a lot of Arnold likenesses in there.
They did Rambo as well.
But they have their MOQ. Rambo?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know they did Rambo. I was going to say, did they do
Rambo a few years ago? Yeah.
Okay. But I imagine their MOQ was much, much higher because they're at retail.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, they get into retail. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's also something. It's not something I would want to do. You know.
Yeah, you're telling your own unique story as well.
Yeah.
You're not telling the Rambo story.
I mean, aside from the fact that he's like almost 80 years old now.
Yeah.
Still jacked in the sauce.
And then Walter Grimes, thank you very much for the super chat. No message, but much appreciated. Okay. So we're about 2 hours into this. Do you guys want to keep going into G.I. Joe and make it a 3-hour show, or should we maybe do a bonus show later on?
Let's see if we can bang it out in 30 minutes.
All right. First up, Slaughter's Marauders Barbecue. However, they don't call it Slaughter's Marauders anymore. It's called Mad Marauders, I think.
Yeah.
They didn't want to give Sarge too much in royalties.
Gotcha. Okay, so there's barbecue in blue and green. Repaint. We got Joan Rivers, which was a joke we made earlier this week on Loose But Complete. But yeah, Cover Girl, reusing the Lady J body with the jacket and new head. Okay.
it's just cool. It's cool. It's Cover Girl. You know, they're going deep in the line. It's fine.
Yep.
But so they're doing Cover Girl and they're doing Copperhead, both vehicle drivers. So this says to me that we're never ever going to see a Wolverine. We're never going to see a Water Moccasin, because if they did, you would want to put that figure with that vehicle when it comes out. I don't know why they're doing it.
Yeah,
there it is.
So what I don't understand is all the other lines at Hasbro with the closed boxes are doing digital renders, a big shot of the digital render on the front so you can see the figure. Look how small you're putting that figure, but instead you're showing me that shitty artwork that does nothing to promote the figure. What the fuck, guys? Man.
Yep. And just to clarify a statement I made earlier, Retro Blasting says, guys, it is literally spelled Chris Cox. That isn't a joke.
It's not COX like Ronnie Cox. Oh. No.
All right.
Well, then.
And then we got the red bat to go with, I guess, the Crimson Guards and the Twins, right?
Yeah, it's the Crimson Bat. Yeah.
Okay. I probably got too many pictures here. Outback. I actually ended up pre-ordering this one, but
thank God, because if all the Tiger Force ones got cancelled this morning at 4 a.m.
I didn't pre-order that one. So.
Yeah, mine got canceled. I ordered that. I pre-ordered that figure, and I forgot that I pre-ordered it and got an email, and I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks."
I mean, hey, that's Target for you. That happens all the time. I don't know what's up with that, but there's Outback. I think he looks awesome. I did end up, huh?
He looks great.
Yep. And there's the windowless box. I'm going to be giving him some Valaverse weapons, though. Not really feeling that.
With
whatever
all
that is.
the amazing figure photographers out there, and Hasbro has some amazing photographers doing their promo material. I remember those Crocmaster pictures were amazing, but it's like, dude, put awesome photography on the front of the box. This stupid artwork.
I don't get it. Not my thing. So there he is. Falcon or Hawk? No, this is Falcon.
Falcon.
Yeah. Kind of looks a little bit like Gary Busey, maybe.
Willem Dafoe.
That's Mm-hmm.
Where's the barrel break on that shotgun?
That's what I was wondering. No.
I want to see him fire it like that.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that clip you put in your video, Tony, of the guy firing a shotgun like that and hitting his face. I was dying.
Yeah, I put a video on Patreon yesterday, which will go wide on YouTube tomorrow. That clip was actually sent to me by Scott Hughes. Thank you very much, Scott. You sent that clip, and I was like, I've got to include that in the video. It's literally of some dumb kid firing a shotgun like that one-handed. It doesn't end well.
Yep. Right, there's Falcon. Might be a new body. I don't know. It's got a neckerchief and a beret. I know you got something to say about the beret, Tony.
I've got a lot to say about a lot of this. So, yeah, the beret doesn't look good. No one's ever been able to sculpt a beret in 1/12 scale. It's very, very difficult to do because berets are supposed to be worn so tight fitting to the head. I think you would just have to sculpt a head with the beret already on. As soon as you make it removable, it's not going to look right. The water bottles on the backpack are way, way too small.
Yep, there it is right there on the packaging artwork.
Yep.
I just want to say real quick, Latella. Apparently, I missed a super chat from John Latella. If you retype that super chat just as a regular chat, I'll look for it here. Don't send another super chat. But
yeah, Ryan, I went back through the whole thing and couldn't find the super chat. I've just been looking for the last few minutes.
Okay.
So I think perhaps it didn't actually come through.
Yeah, maybe it didn't go through then. It's not showing up here in my studio. So, okay. So Falcon is there. And then there was the Serpentor fiasco with the pre-orders. But I think we kind of already talked that a little bit. A lot of people missed out. A lot of people that bought the premium membership still missed out when they bought the premium membership just to get Serpentor. I think he'll be coming again, probably without the air chariot in the regular line. And then teased, kind of like they're doing the whole pipeline thing, like the Black Series team. General Hawk is coming to the line. As well as...
Hold on.
Okay.
Hawk is coming to the line.
Hawk. They're not calling him General. You're right.
No, it's Hawk. It could be Colonel Hawk. It could be that dude with the jetpack.
Gotcha. Okay. If they showed like a vintage figure with it or something, or if they just said the name, I don't know. I missed that part, but this was on the list.
To me, it would make sense to do General Hawk. You know, that's the iconic version. But yeah,
this
you
one,
don't know.
right?
It could. Yeah.
Okay, and then Tripwire. I don't know. You guys are the G.I. Joe guys, man. I divert to you.
Look, I don't think Tripwire is anyone's favorite Joe. Not even close. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
it would be really funny if they did Tripwire and did an orange Listen and Fun version as like some sort of exclusive down the road. I think it would be funny. It would show that like they're actually paying attention to the brand that came before them. But I mean, I think he's a pretty popular Joe. I mean, you know.
Articulated Chad was saying he's a great army builder. He swaps heads on them. So
yeah,
makes an army builder out of it. And then Snow Serpent.
That's if they do him right, he'll be pretty fucking awesome.
Be cool.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite Cobra army builders from the vintage line. Probably second only to the Eel. Which we'll get eventually because they'll take Torpedo and give it a new head, the Cobra logo on the front, and boom, you've got yourself a Cobra Eel.
And the last one was Dreadnought Buzzer.
They need to put this out in a big pack with that Punisher motorcycle from Marvel Legends.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Yeah. So what they've done? Who was the chick they did?
Zorana
and Zartan and Buzzer. Hoping they get to Monkey Wrench.
He's my favorite.
Yeah,
Monkey Wrench is my favorite.
Okay. They also showed some digital renders. They did not go for pre-order, but Rock and Roll, and he comes with a Rock and Roll hand. So, thoughts?
Is he the big body?
No, I think he's new. I think he might be a new sculpt.
Okay.
Maybe.
Like, I mean, the ammo around the wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing?
So they've given him a whole heap of tattoos. He never had tattoo. not against it, but it's hard to tell from this one image, right? We don't see any other. We don't see the figure from any other perspective, but the tattoos don't look very good either.
And it is just digital. It's not, I mean, we'll see.
My thing, it's like they course corrected. They leaned into vintage nostalgia. So it's like rock and roll. They leaned into vintage nostalgia by putting cross bandoliers of ammo, which nobody does. But then it's like they moderned them up with a modern helmet and like the tattoos, and it's just like I don't think it's a. I mean, there's aspects of this figure that are cool, but it's like there's something that's just like it's not a nice mix. It's the balance is off, but that's fine. I mean, the head sculpt looks awesome.
Well, one of the things that really stands out to me there is you can see that's a very, very modern looking helmet, right? It's got the can't remember what you call the attachment there for the night vision goggles to go on the front. That's a modern fast helmet, I think they call it.
Yeah.
If you're in a period where you're going to have a helmet like that, you're not going to carry an M60 because it's an old, antiquated weapon system. Yeah. If you're wearing a helmet like that, you should have an M240 Bravo or something quite a lot more modern.
It looks like
I don't know the M240 Bravo is like from the 60s, but it's such a reliable weapon system, we still use it today.
Okay. Go ahead, guys.
So listen, I'm digging this figure.
Yeah.
I want to see like an accessory pack similar to this from you, Bobby, for Valaverse. Whether you do a full like Navy SEAL type figure or whether you just one of your equipment boxes with the rebreather and the swim fins and all that stuff, that'd be pretty cool.
All right. Copperhead? No, not feeling it. Apparently,
it's fine.
But what's the boat he's supposed to pilot?
The moccasin.
Water moccasin.
Water moccasin, yeah. Okay. And then Bazooka. There we go. The Bazooka that everyone wanted.
I wonder if they had to talk to the New England Patriots about using that jersey.
Is it generic enough where...
Yeah, I wonder. But, I mean, it is a Patriots jersey, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't say, New England on it or Patriots, I wonder if it's just a blue and red jersey. I don't know.
Something looks off with his legs and, like, his boots. Like, his feet look either tiny... Like it just looks like if you squint your eyes, he's got no form to his feet. And he just goes straight down. Like something weird going on there.
Maybe his lower legs are too short compared to his thighs. I don't know.
Maybe.
So like Rock and Roll gets this really modern version of a combat helmet, and then Bazooka gets
see
Vietnam,
it's like
or maybe early. That's an early '80s helmet.
Yeah, they're picking and choosing like who they stay 100% like vintage with and who they don't.
Yeah,
it's like,
I think it's because they don't know. Honestly,
I think that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm
go ahead.
You can't even differentiate between any of the weapon systems here because they're all just called blasters.
Yeah, they were calling them blasters. And then Shipwreck with boy band hair. There's a lot of silence here, guys.
I mean, listen, he looks. I mean, he matches vintage Shipwreck. I wasn't a big Shipwreck fan. I didn't care for a sailor. He just, to me, when I was a kid, like he didn't seem cool. I wanted someone in fatigues or camo with rifles, machine guns, and stuff, and not guys with a grappling hook and a pirate pistol.
Yeah, I said on Loose But Complete, my thing as a kid was I don't want a figure with bell bottoms.
Well, that too, yeah.
In the 80s, like bell bottoms were like so ugly to everyone because the 70s were over, and I mean they're ugly anyway. But it was just like, what is this bell bottom thing? That was my thing. It didn't look cool,
Yeah.
And then
again, like people will love it because it leans very heavy into
Sure.
that nostalgia aspect, just like Bazooka. But then you have rock and roll, and it's like, granted, the original rock and roll, he was just a green shirt. And then, you know, if they were going to do rock and roll, what they should have done was they should have done the version 2, the 89 rock and roll. They're going to do them, you know?
Yeah.
Came with those 2 giant hand cannons. Shit was awesome.
Just to be clear, I love the Bazooka. I actually like the Copperhead and the rock and roll. I'm going to get these, but some weird choices were made for sure.
Yeah.
And they did call all the guns blasters. It's like Adam Sandler again. He called the shit poop.
I mean, they also did say their pronouns. So, not surprised.
Yeah. All right. Also, the Black Series put out Wicket. Everything else was a repack. Oh, and Cassian Andor stuff, which show whatever, but boring figures. It's not a show like for action figures. Nothing toyetic about it, really. Okay. There we go, guys. Got 360 people watching right now. If you hit that thumbs up, it would be much appreciated. And if you didn't like it, go ahead and hit the thumbs down. It's fine with me.
Okay, thumbs down.
That's fine. Thanks, Tony.
Hey, views are views, baby.
Yeah.
Views are views.
Thank you so much for sticking with us in this very long show, over 2 hours. We'll be back in 2 weeks for our next show on Saturday. Links to everything relevant in the description below, including links to t-shirts and mugs and all that kind of stuff on redbubble.com. Tony, Analog Toys on YouTube, and Desert Rat on Instagram.
I just want to wrap up by saying one thing. There's a one-off on Disney Plus. Werewolf by Night came out yesterday. I think it's ready for Halloween. I watched it. It's only about an hour. Man, it was awesome. Seriously awesome. Like, I would give it 4 to 4.5 stars out of 5. Really good. Highly recommend it. One of the best things Marvel's done in a long time.
Oh, geez. I almost forgot all these super chats. Hold on. Matt Talon, thank you so much. Retailers, Walmart need to change their SKUs. If not, we'll eventually see Classified be a Pulse exclusive because of that effing Snake Eyes movie. It's
going to become
you might see
anyway.
that. Yeah, you might see that anyway, the way things are going. But thank you very much for that super chat. And yeah, the movie figures are still warming the pegs in my area as well. J Creations New York, thank you for the super chat. No message there, but we appreciate you very much. And then again, Matt Talon. Thanks, man. Cover Girl, Russian mail order mother-in-law. Falcon, Russian mail order father-in-law. Awesome. Thanks, man. And then Action Figure Enjoyer once again. Thanks. He says, Cover Girl, gonna die too for calling out Big Mike.
I miss something.
I think I'm missing a reference that is
too.
here. If you're here, put it in the chat quick, Action Figure Enjoyer, and I'll read it. Not a super chat though. And then J Creations New York, thank you for the super chat. He says, I'd rather see some toy photography than these designs they're using. Yeah, the digital renders leave too much out. They always look better than the real thing, which is, to me, that's a big problem.
Listen, man, think about what all the influencers do to help you like push the brand and stuff like that. It's like, dude, look at some of these toy photographers and how many followers they have on Instagram. It's like, dude, give some love to a toy photographer, highlight a toy photographer, one for each figure, and then you can highlight a bunch of people, mention it on your stream, let them promote it, all their followers. Shit, man. It's like,
Bobby, stop giving them all your ideas.
Dude, listen, man. Like, I'll help them. It's just like, guys, like, it's so easy, easy.
All right. I think they did do that with The Amazing, but anyway, okay. Thank you, J Creations New York. Walter Grimes, thank you very much. He says, kind of cool, but kind of sucks how Hasbro is spreading out into naval and Arctic.
Yeah, I mean, they're leaning into nostalgia. So they're picking iconic characters from the years that, dummy Lenny thinks, oh, that guy's cool. I don't know anything about the brand, but oh, he's cool.
Well, they've already done the pipeline reveal for Snow Job a while back. So if you're going to bring out Snow Job, you've got to bring out a Cobra to go with it, the Snow Serpent. Yeah, I know.
All right. Melinda, thank you so much. She says, great show, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Melinda.
Melinda.
And then that was definitely the last super chat. There was no more super chats at all.
No, there was another super chat.
No.
Hey, Jeremy, thank you very much. He says, a great show, Tony and Bobby. Jeremy, you need to save your money for, now you've got your own little, living action figure that doesn't need batteries. You need to save your money. So any nice comments like that are complimentary towards me and Bobby and completely ignore Ryan, just type them normally and I'll bring them up. I have control over the StreamYard.
And Jeremy, listen, man, save your money. Don't buy any other action figures, but you can buy Action Force. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, and you should be breastfeeding your child right now, Jeremy. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Wait, did Jeremy